Hello, everyone, and welcome to our latest edition of Big Game Players with myself, Super, and my co-host Banjo. How we doing,
Hi everyone.
Banjo?
Yeah, very well, thank you. How are you, Sipo? All right?
Yeah, just got back yesterday from
Yeah.
the lovely Crete, so good to go over there and utilize some of my Greek lingo. So,
Well rested?
well, a week's never long enough for a holiday, but it came and went quite quick, but it was good fun. Good
Lovely.
Good
Good
to
to
be
hear.
away. I heard
Nice.
that England was fairly hot as well.
Ah, scorching, scorching. Especially the weekend. Really, really warm weather. But yeah, nice. If you're out, if you're able to get out and do stuff, a barbecue or what have you, or anything of that type, then obviously you're going to enjoy the weather. It was lovely.
Yeah. Okay. Well, one thing I did miss while I was in the air was Club World Cup
All right.
final.
Yeah.
So you did watch that, I believe.
Yes, I did, and I was. I never saw that coming. I have to be honest. Chelsea won 3-0. Um,
Deserved?
very much deserved. Yeah, I don't think it was as much as PSG having an off day. I think Maresca got his tactics absolutely spot on. Didn't allow PSG to play. Um, exploited their PSG's left hand side. Managed to get 3 goals from in
PSG's
succession
left-hand
quickly.
side with Mendes.
Yeah, well, they exploited it. They managed to have Cole Palmer causing havoc
Okay.
on that side, and got himself 2 goals and an assist as well, um, all coming from the same side. So very, very good performance. Nullified PSG completely on the front foot. Dangerous. Have to mention actually Chelsea's goalkeeper Sanchez pulled off 3 or 4 very, very good saves.
Blimey.
Yeah, no, seriously, very, very good saves.
So
So
he's still got a future there, you believe?
off the back of that performance, if that's anything to go by, then probably yes. Um, if one of those had gone in early, or maybe I think when one was when Chelsea was 1 up, it could have been a different game. You never know. So credit to him as well. He was as important as anybody on the day.
Okay. And Maresca.
Mm.
So seriously impressed you. Are
He
they
did
uh,
yesterday. Yeah, he did.
are they a danger in the league?
Well, I always thought, funny enough, I think I've mentioned on this podcast before that if they were to get a new goalkeeper and a centre forward, can make all the difference. Um, and they managed to get two good forwards in Delap and Pedro. And Pedro got. Have you seen his finish? Lovely finish yesterday.
No.
He looks like he's going to be amongst the goals this season. He
Yeah.
started the game ahead of Delap, and funny enough, Delap came on and immediately had an impact on the game, forcing Donnarumma to make 2 splendid saves as well. But I think having the forwards, the 2 new strikers, could make a huge difference to
And
them.
it just goes to show all you got to do is find a spare 1.3, 1.4 billion and you can put a squad together, eh? Funny
Yeah,
that.
yeah, but as um, as I always say, it's buying the right players. It's buying the right players, which they haven't always done. Let's be honest, but they've managed to churn them out. They bring them in and get them out quite quickly, and
So
wasting money along the way. But it looks like they might be getting it right this time around.
two players that look like they're on the way, Medu AK off to Arsenal.
Yeah, yeah.
Surprise
Look,
move
I think he's a good player. I'm probably more surprised at the fee more than anything.
in terms of
I think it's a lot of money. What are they talking about?
52 million odd, 50,
Yeah,
52 million.
personally, I think that's a lot of money for him.
I think they
Um,
paid good money for him, late 20s to walk upwards
yeah,
towards 30.
yeah, but still, I think he's a good player. He is a good player, and that's a lot of money to spend. Um, okay, maybe the value could be correct, could be right, but I think they were probably better spending that money elsewhere.
And Jokeres, no. Well, keep hearing they might sign, but no, not forthcoming at the moment.
I think it's going to happen at the end. I think it normally always does. The clubs always try and show when someone's behaved in that manner. The clubs always try and show firm hand, a stance, as they say. The chairman is coming out with all these strong comments that we don't care, he can stay. But let's be honest, when you've got a player of that value, you're never going to just allow him to rot in your, they're going to cash in. So I think that will happen eventually.
That one will happen.
Yeah.
Okay. And then while we were back to Chelsea, sorry, Jackson linked with a move away. Apparently, they've put £100 million price tag on him.
Probably have to, considering the amount they've spent. But no, he's certainly not a £100 million player.
Would you buy him for United?
Not for that much. I think he's decent. He's okay.
There's a club that will pay that much.
No, not anymore. I don't think they will anymore. They're squabbling over a couple of million with Mbomo. So I don't think they will be doing that anymore.
How times change, eh?
Yeah, but it's probably the right thing. I mean, United's always overspent and given away silly money for players who have not been of value. But
well, they playing an interesting game because obviously I've seen that Forest and Spurs are linked with Wissa.
Yeah, well,
and apparently Brentford cleverly have come out and said we're not going to sell both.
Yeah, but this is the games which plays. It's they're all showing their hand, and then they're saying different things. United are probably, from what I've heard, are not aggressively pursuing the deal. So then Brentford may be thinking, wait a minute, these lot might be having they might be looking at an alternative, or maybe they're not as keen as we'd think. So, and then eventually they might decide, oh, no, let's just take the money now because the player wants to go as well. So there's a lot of games being played in both parties, I think.
And that Wissa to Forest, that's not a new rumour. That was one that was around in January. And another player that had a good season.
Yeah, he did. Well, him and Mbeumo, excellent seasons, and they've really made up for the goals they lost in Tony when he moved on. But well, they need to do something, Forest. They need to do something because they've lost one player in Elanga.
Yeah,
and it does seem that
odd mil.
Sorry,
signing for Newcastle, 55 odd mil.
I think it is. Yeah, I think it is a good signing.
So you're saying
that's a lot of money. Again, it's a lot of money.
So here you are saying that's a lot of money, but Madueke, why is it? Are you classing Elanga that much better than Madueke?
No, I think Newcastle. I think it's a good signing for Newcastle, but I do think I even think that is too much as well.
Is that the going rate these days?
Yeah, maybe it's me. Maybe I'm not keeping abreast with the market value of the players, or what is good value, what's not. But it just seems like a lot of money, especially when you've got PSR situation going on. I would have thought the transfer fees will probably have gone down more than anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, like we say, Forest need to bring someone in of note, and Morgan Gibbs-White as well looks like he's moving on to Spurs. Been a bit of a dispute there as well, but I think that will happen too. Normally does.
They're claiming there's been an illegal approach.
Yeah, but
is that right?
Yeah, but just go over that. I think it's quite irrelevant of the deal. So, for example, it's a different matter. So, for example, Spurs have triggered the release clause.
But have they done it the official way? Have they gone?
Whether they have or not, I think that's a legal matter to the side. They've triggered the deal. Now, they can speak to him.
Yeah, but have they done that through the club, Joe? When we're saying they've triggered it, who have they triggered it to? The club are saying it's an illegal approach. They've gone behind the club's back to the player. The club have obviously not given the green light for the player to have chats. Otherwise, they wouldn't be pursuing it as a legal matter.
Have they not offered Nottingham Forest? Have they not? They've triggered Spurs have triggered the deal, the release clause with Forest. Surely,
have Forest acknowledged the offer, and have Forest allowed the player to speak to Spurs?
do they have a choice once the release clause has been triggered? So I'm presuming Spurs have officially gone to Nottingham Forest and said, well, what is it, 60 million? I said,
Yeah,
here's
so.
60 million. Obviously, different structure of the deal or whatever. But then once that happens, Forest can't stop him from speaking to them. The issue is, have Spurs spoken to him beforehand? But that is for me. That's another matter from the actual.
And that's off the back
going ahead. That's a legal thing which should be dealt with separately. I don't know how it works, but I assume that should be how it is. But
and that's off the back of the signing of Kudus. So
yeah,
so that Spurs are getting there, and there's big rumours of Adam Walton. I'm seeing.
Well, yeah, well, that would be good signing. So someone in their midfield, highly rated. Yeah,
Qatari money.
Yeah.
So have they sold a share, Tottenham, to the Qataris?
I don't really know what's happened there, but apparently there's money which has come in from that part of the world, which Spurs are using to make a transfer. So I don't know. I don't know. Is it sponsorship? Does it come from sponsors? How does it work?
Not sure it's coming, but I know Adam Walton's been linked.
Yeah.
So Spurs are clearly making some moves. Arsenal have made some moves, obviously, that we discussed there. Talk to us about United. You mentioned Mbeumo's still not over the line.
That's not over the line. There's no new news regarding that. United have been linked with players here and there, but nothing strong. I think with United, it's I've never been one to be full-on transfers daily and like with United getting excited and all this clickbait and this and that. But I'm starting to get a little bit worried now, if I'm honest, because we finished 15th last season, an absolute shit show of a season, if I'm honest, and we're approaching the start of the next.
But Rashford not officially gone, so that'll be like a new player back in your squad.
No, they won't be used.
Anthony back. That'll be like another fresh signing.
No, they're not. They're not using them. They're not using them. They've not integrated them in the squad. And basically, we've brought in one player, Kuna, and from last season we're losing Garnacho. So what I'm trying to say is, we haven't done enough to improve.
Lindelof gone.
Lindelof, yeah, he went on a free. Ericsson went on a free.
Onana injured apparently, right?
Yeah, that might be a good thing. That way it might prompt them to bring a new goalkeeper in. But yeah, nothing really going on. The players who have been exiled, who were told they cannot, well, they can have an extra holiday and don't have to return to training. Apparently they did train today, or they were returning to training today, but from 5 o'clock when everyone's left.
What do you mean?
Well, I think they trained at Carrington, but when everyone had left the building, well, the first team.
So who they're training with?
I don't know, but I'm sure there's something in their contract where they've got to train, or the club has to at least use them properly. So I think they're probably just adhering to that. But well, it's clear that they don't want them anywhere near the squad. So
and who are these players in this little gang or little clique?
Rashford, Garnacho, Sancho.
Sancho
Anthony.
too.
Yeah, shouldn't be allowed back in the city, let alone Carrington. Anthony, and is that 5? I think there's 5 of them. And Malacia.
But these players are all worth. Some of them are worth a bit of money. Well, some of them are brought in on big money.
Yeah, well, I think Amorim will be quite upset because it's clear they've got no future at United. It's been said that they're all.
Will he have much of a future at United if he carries on?
Well, this is what we're waiting to see. But he clearly doesn't want them as any part of the squad. He wants to start afresh. He wants to start new with all the right apples in the change room. Don't want any bad apples, as they say. And they've not been able to shift them. And he doesn't want them around. Otherwise, they're just going to stink up the place like they have done in the past. So I can see it from his point of view, but shifting them now for good value it's gonna, it can be affected now because it's clear United just don't want
them. Okay.
So anyway, well, this is the problem. I think they need to go. They need to go. We need to bring some money in as well, and hopefully then we could get our transfers going. But I don't know what's going on, if I'm honest. Not
anyone else linked?
No, you mentioned Jackson, but like I said, no one's strongly linked. I think the last link we had where you think was quite, it was reported by various outlets was the Ollie Watkins, but since that, nothing's gone dead. I don't know. All I know is something bloody needs to happen because whatever they bring in or whatever they do, it has to be different from last season because we saw what happened last season.
Right. Time will tell, I guess, Banjo, but yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I want to share some news, obviously, with Liverpool, to give the latest there.
Yeah.
So the Isak rumours haven't totally gone away. They haven't gone
Especially
away.
now Newcastle being linked with Ekitike.
80 million bid for Ekitike. I mean, surely he's not coming there to sit on the bench.
Is there another theory coming?
No, I believe it. I said it last week, I believe, on the show. Isak will be a Liverpool player this summer or next summer. Unless his stock goes down that bad and he has that bad a season, I believe he'll be a Liverpool player. Diaz looks like he's on the way.
Really?
Well, Bayern Munich have made an offer. It's a 10 to 15 million pounds short, but I think Diaz is championing the move to Bayern Munich.
It looks like he'd go anywhere, isn't it?
Sorry?
It looks like he'd go anywhere.
Well, I think I don't think he was don't think it was emotionally tied to Liverpool. I think his dad.
I think he's there for the money as well.
His dad's clearly tried to get him out a few times.
I think that's, when I say there for the money, I think obviously when they move on, they get some of the transfer fee and increasing wage and this and that. And I think that's probably his motive. But what was the offer?
I think they offered about 45 million, but Liverpool wants 60 odd.
Well, then this is where if Elanga's going for 50 plus and Madueke, then Liverpool are rightly within their.
I mean, Liverpool won't just sell. I mean, I think he's got 2 more years to go on his contract, so we're not
desperate to get rid.
Hurry. Konate looking like he's going to try and run down his contract.
How long's he got left? Another year.
Yeah. Real Madrid again up to their
tricks,
pursuing tactics.
Yeah.
So I think Konate is going to maybe try and run down his contract. But I did stay. I think Guehi and Konate will mirror. So that I did say a few weeks ago. And by all accounts, Darwin Núñez, don't know. Again, I don't think we're in a hurry to get rid of these players. I think if the club don't get the money they want, I think they're holding out for more money from Galatasaray.
Napoli. But Liverpool are in a strong position where you're in a position where you can do that. You've won the league. You've got a strong squad. You've strengthened. I think you're doing all right with PSR. Obviously, if the right offer comes in, you'll allow them to go. But you're in a position where you don't have to let them go for an amount that Liverpool's not satisfied with.
I think the biggest danger is the club. The owners are probably having panic attacks with the fact that 200 million's gone out and nothing really has come back in yet. So I think that's a bigger issue there in hand. But the only other news that I wanted to speak about was Henderson to Brentford.
Yeah, good signing.
Andrews, new coach.
Yeah.
Maybe wants an experienced head there.
Yeah. Maybe. They've lost, it looks like they might lose 2 or 3 players. They've lost Norgard as well.
Norgard's gone, so Henderson.
Yeah, and he's their captain, I believe, and he's obviously an experienced player. And they're in the middle of the park. And I think Henderson's just going to come in and replace him.
Well, we did say a few weeks ago we thought Brentford might be in trouble this upcoming season.
Well, he'll steady the ship.
Exactly that. I think he'll come in and he'll,
Yeah. Good signing. Sensible signing. Yeah.
Banjo.
Yes.
Time to discuss top 3 French players.
Oh, yes. Wasn't easy.
Really tough one. I struggled with this one too because a lot of names.
Loads of names.
Do you want to put some names out there that didn't make your top 3, but you felt deserve a mention?
Yeah, well, before we start, when I thought of French football, I thought of 2 great teams. The one in the late 90s and 2000, and also the one in mid 80s with that was a great team. They also won the European Championship then. So I was trying to think of players over those 2 eras really. So yeah, just to mention players who never made my top 3, but obviously in our lifetime. Tigana, he was a great player in the 80s. One who wasn't part of a great French team, Jean-Pierre Papin.
Yeah, really good player. Obviously went to Milan after and
for a lot of money, yeah.
Marseille and
that's the one. And obviously there was players like Louis Fernandez, Gires from the 80s team. And then obviously moving on to the late 90s, you had great defender in Desailly.
Yeah.
Brilliant midfielder in Deschamps. And then there was Thuram as well, who was a wonderful defender, one of the world's best at the time. Laurent Blanc, Lizarazu, great left back. And in midfield, obviously the ones who people will be more familiar with are Vieira, Petit.
Giving away that Vieira's not in there, right? Or Petit?
No, they're not in there. No, not in there. But great, nevertheless, especially Vieira, great player. And Djorkaeff, really good player.
Yeah.
I'm sure I've missed some. Eric Cantona, obviously the influence he had over Ria. Great player, but he's not in my top.
Surprised he's not in your top.
No, I'm trying. No, I have to be honest. For me, he's an absolute legend at United. Brilliant footballer. Massive influence. But I'm also thinking of players who were great for the actual national team as well. I'm not saying Cantona weren't, but he wasn't playing long enough because obviously he got banned. But so I'm really thinking of the ones who really had a great international career as well.
Okay.
Yeah. But look, any you want to mention which I hadn't?
Well, I think there might be, but let's hear your 3, and then I'll throw some. I'll throw some others in the hat.
I'll give you my third.
Let's hear it.
Yeah, it was a player who was part of integral part of the '98 side and the team in 2000. So he won the World Cup with France and the European Championship in 2000. He went on to win a European Cup and various other domestic trophies in England. Thierry Henry, I've put him in. I think he was phenomenal. Great player, brilliant player. I know he cheated against Ireland. Let's be honest. No, he did. We laugh about it, but he did.
You're not sure the Irish will have him in there?
Yeah, so that's a bit of a blot, especially since when he hasn't admitted he'd done it on purpose. I mean, he's trying to fool everyone. But great player. Brilliant player, and I've put him in number 3.
Good pundit?
Yeah, he's good. I like him on that show with Katie Abdu. Well, she's not Abdu anymore, is she? Scott and
Malik. She's with Malik Scott, that's right.
Yeah, and Carragher and Michael Richards. Yeah, he's a good. He seems like he's got a bit of a sense of humour.
Is he up there with Super?
No.
Not quite that calibre, no?
No, not that calibre.
Okay. So, interestingly, Banjo, number 3 for me was also Henry.
Oh, wow.
There was 2 or 3 players of ilk that I liked. Henry was probably the pick of them. I think Vieira was unlucky not to make my top 3.
Yeah.
And actually, I had a last minute change. A player begrudgingly not in my top 3, but had a role named after himself, which you didn't mention, I don't believe.
Oh God,
Makelele.
Yeah, how can I forget him?
Claude Makelele was a player,
brilliant.
And also another one actually that deserves a mention. Similar ilk, Kante.
Yes, yeah.
So you want to talk about a player that can get through the work of a lot of 2 or 3 players on the pitch.
I'll tell you another one of recent times. The oh God, how can I forget his name? The Atletico Madrid player, forward.
Griezmann.
Yeah.
Who's also he was down on my list too.
Yeah.
Perez was on my list.
Yeah.
Good player.
Yeah.
Very good player.
Yeah,
good ability. But look, I'll hear a couple of you. Let's do our top 2 before I mention the other 2. Just I don't want to spoil it in case they're in your 3.
I think we might have the same 2 again, but I don't know. My second has to be Michel Platini. It has to be. I mean, 3-time Ballon d'Or winner. Massive influence in the 80s. He was the talisman, the star player when they won the European Championships in '84. Fantastic, brilliant player for Juventus as well. Won the Champions League or European Cup at the time with them. Very creative, very skillful. Questionable statesman since he's started working for UEFA. I think he's gone off the grid now, hasn't he? Since he got done for.
Let's be careful what we discuss on this show, Banjo.
Well, I think Anyway, problems with the authorities, and he's my second. Brilliant player.
Unfortunately, we haven't got the backing of the Qataris of Man City, so.
I've stopped now.
Platini was also my number 2.
Oh wow!
Yeah, fantastic player. Made things happen in there. Influential, good club player. Yeah. He was. But look, we're talking about our lifetime. So early on in my lifetime was the only reason because we had a couple of people after the show last week message us directly. They were.
But we did make it very clear. We said our lifetime, didn't we?
But I think some of the people that messaged possibly a decade or 2 older than us, but that's that's for them to have their memories of who the best players were in their lifetime, and we accept they might not always be the same. I've got a feeling your number 1's going to be quite unanimous and quite an obvious one, and I will let you go on. I won't steal your thunder.
I know he was one of your favourite all-time players as well.
Definitely.
Zinedine Zidane. What a player! He was, for me, the most elegant footballer I've ever seen. I just enjoy watching him. Like you get the arguments of who's the greatest of all time, and some people say Ronaldo, Messi, or this and that, and I'm not disputing that. But I'd rather watch him. It's my preference. I'm not saying he's the greatest of all time, but I'd rather watch him play because he just oozed class. He was just like so elegant on the pitch. It's almost like he could do anything he wanted with that ball. It's like, for example, we could pick things up with our hands and just do whatever we want with it. It felt like that. He had that mastery with the ball. He was just, and for a big man, his balance and strength and the way he just glided and moved.
Pulling down balls, like pulling down 60-yard passes.
Like it was nothing. Like it was nothing. It was just so easy. The game looked like it was so easy for him. And it was just played at his own pace, his own speed, and just phenomenal footballer. Real
obviously came through at Bordeaux.
Yeah.
And he made that big move to Juve.
Yeah, it did. And he was brilliant at Juve.
He was excellent at Juve, and then
obviously even better at Madrid. I mean, what sums him up as well? 2 goals for France in the '98 World Cup with his head.
Yeah.
Not known for his heading, but he got 2 with his head. Champions League winner with his left foot.
The volley.
What a goal that was. One of the greatest Champions League goals ever, if not the greatest.
Yeah.
And that was with his left foot. It's just phenomenal. Pure joy. I mean, I'll go on YouTube and just look at his clips still and just watch.
One of my favourites actually is I'm gonna. It was actually one of his best moments and one of his worst moments. But the 2006 World Cup, was it 06? I believe it was 06. I mean, that World Cup, it was all build and geared around Ronaldinho. That was going to be when he was going to show the world what he was about. And then they faced France in the
semi-final.
Quarters?
I think it was a semi.
Might have been quarters.
Was it quarters?
We'll
but
check.
That was one of his great performances of all time.
He put on a masterclass that night. He was like, no one could get near him. He just absolutely ran the show. I mean, it was a shame in the final when he got
He made his mark, even in the final. I mean, even that, was a story in itself. That was his last ever game, wasn't it? But they were dead after that. The moment he got sent off, I think that was the end of France. But even that made the story, and we laugh. But I'm just so thankful he managed to win the World Cup before that, because had he not won it in '98 and they lost in 2006 and he went out the way he did, that would have been horrible, because he definitely deserved to have a World Cup. But he was just phenomenal player, and in a period when there was so many great players. Let's be honest. But
so we talk about coaches, obviously, and he went to Madrid and he did really well with the Champions League, won that, and did okay at Madrid. Did well more than okay, won stuff at Madrid, but there was always little question marks around his coaching
as a manager.
People always wondered whether he could go and just do it anywhere. Like, Pep, you look at and you think he'll go anywhere. Klopp,
go anywhere. I think with Zidane, it was more like, he's got a great team there. And what did he win? 4 European Cups or something?
Yeah,
manager. But it's just ridiculous how no one takes him seriously, like as one of the greats. But the thing is, I don't think he had a desire to go anywhere else. I think he was just thought, I'll do it at Madrid. But
imagine you're a player. You sometimes look in the changing room and you look at your manager and you think, you've won nothing. In actual fact, I watched you play football. You were quite shit. I don't think anyone was thinking that was Zinedine Zidane.
He was probably the best player in the changing room, and that was at Madrid. But no one was thinking that. I mean, he clocked football. There's nothing he never won individually, and as in the teams he played internationally on the international scene and on the club scene. No, he was just phenomenal, pure class, and
I think. Another player that deserved a mention, David Trezeguet.
Oh yeah, I had him in there. It wasn't long enough for me. Yeah, I know he got the winner in that Euro 2000s, but it wasn't top.
I remember a great Champions League. Well, he scored a winner, didn't he, at the 2000?
Yeah, that's the one against Italy. Yeah.
And then
golden goal at the time.
I think he scored I remember some cracker at Old Trafford, was it?
Yeah, for Monaco.
With hit the ball at God knows what, 300 miles an hour. It felt like
spun all over the place and just went in.
But the other player I think deserves a mention, and he's early in he's halfway through his career, if anything. But Mbappe surely deserves a mention.
Yeah. He does, but he's still, of course he does. Of course he's a top player, and he's still halfway through his career. I wasn't really thinking of players who are currently playing.
But even recently, watching him in the,
he's the
World Cup, not recently, but the last.
The World Cup, the brilliant World Cup actually, and he was unlucky to lose the final, but. Yeah, he's got a lot to do for me to get into that top three.
Look, I understand he's left PSG, and they've gone on to win pretty much everything since they lost him. That will never reflect well, but so did Messi in the same breath. That's not, and Neymar. There are players that have left there that couldn't achieve that, but he's still gone to Madrid and scored 43 odd goals in that first season.
And you
think that was a fairly quiet season from him?
Yeah.
He's still got.
No, he's an excellent player, brilliant player. I don't know why what the question mark is for me. I think he's a brilliant player, excellent player. But I think for me, it's when it's the way he's being spoken about, or how he was being spoken about, and who he was being compared with, which maybe.
In particular, one player that I know you.
No contest. Still no contest.
But you say that, Banjo, but
nah, come on,
there may be.
What, Ronaldo, the Brazilian? No chance. No chance. He's not anywhere near him.
He's not anywhere near him. Size-wise? Because
I think you forget how brilliant he was. I think he was the real deal. And I'm not saying Mbappe isn't, but he's no Ronaldo. And this is where I get a bit like I shouldn't be like that. I shouldn't be comparing him to anyone. He's a brilliant player in his own right. But as people do compare him, and I think they blow him up to be too better than what he is. And no, not for me. No, he's not. He's not in that league with Ronaldo, the Brazilian.
Have you got a most overrated player?
French.
Yes.
Basil Bowley. He was. People thought it was great. It was shit. Ended up at Rangers.
Was he that bad?
I think it was just.
I don't think anyone thought it was that good.
It was a bit of a brute.
I think I've got more of a shame on a player than who I think, very misdirected, very,
I know which one you're going to mention.
And I think he could have really been he was a good player, but
he had a good career. He did have a good career, but he never reached the heights people thought. Yeah.
Nicolas Anelka, obviously, yeah. I think, that was a player that he was a good player.
He was a good player.
Liverpool made a big mistake with him off the back of the youth having that World Cup 2002, I believe.
Nowhere near Anelka.
And Houlier's old assistant putting in some words for him. And off the back of a successful 6-month loan spell prior to that with Anelka. And it was interesting because when I watched that documentary, he said it felt like home.
Liverpool.
It felt like home. It was with the place. I think he said he got there and he felt it. Yeah. And it was a shame. It was a shame. And the youth was.
It was an excellent player, brilliant player. He just probably misadvised over his career. But I think someone's a great player when their colleagues, fellow players, when they talk about him with high esteem. And I know a lot of the old Arsenal players whenever his name comes up or whenever they speak about him, they say he was brilliant. So definitely. But it's just I think it's just a bit of a shame the way his career went. It wasn't a bad career; it was a good career. But I think his talent deserved more.
So you didn't have Konate as your number one?
No.
Well, okay. I'm surprised Gregory Vignal didn't make that either. But okay.
What about the other one? What was the two you bought?
Oh, the young lads,
the Talak
and Cinema Pongo.
No, the other one began with C. What was his name?
Oh, we had Cinema.
No, the centre mid.
Oh, Sheru.
That's it.
He was labelled the new Zidane.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. I'm sure United have had some French players that have been worse, but that'll be Bellion. There you go. Right, Banjo. I think we've come to the end of another show.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Super. Pleasure again.
Which country next week?
Right. Let's decide between the two. We've done the juggernauts, really.
So we've had.
I think there's 3 left. We could.
Italy.
Netherlands. France. There's Germany. There's Brazil. There's Argentina.
England. Spain.
Yeah.
Who are you going with?
Let's go Brazil.
Brazil, wow.
That's tough.
Can we have different number ones?
We might have a completely different 3. That's how many great players they've had.
Yeah. Okay. No clues.
We've got the same 3 this time.
Same 3.
Yeah.
Platini was a late addition to me because, like I said, not through not being a fantastic player.
You were just young at the time.
Back end of,
Yeah.
And I think if I'm mentioning the player, I'd mention Vieira, but I think really the player I would have probably looked at, because I always look at. I've said before, I want to talk about players that are in the convo
best in the
for
world
the
at the time.
greatest at something.
Yeah.
And I think the player I would have picked out would have been Thuram.
Yeah, I mentioned him.
Thuram would have been the player.
Desai as well was.
I think he scored 2 goals in the semi, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, was that against Croatia? I think so. Yeah.
So Thuram or Makelele, like I said, I think Makelele. When you get a position named,
after you,
you know that you've done something right in football.
100%.
So
totally agree.
But yeah, next week Brazil.
Yeah, let's do it. Get thinking.
I'll see you then.
See you then.
Thanks, Banjo.
Thanks, Super. Pleasure as always. Take care, mate.